Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Pink Jersey Show. I'm Devyn,
I'm Arielle.
and we're at the end of the greatest month ever.
It's April. March Madness is done. The madness is over with. Well, not really, because right now we're in the Final Four.
It's been
Brackets are busted.
Whose brackets are busted? My bracket is perfect
My
right now.
bracket is not perfect. It's busted. It's been busted before we even got to Sweet 16.
I'm depending on Florida and Duke to give me a perfect bracket.
Who do you want to win out of the Florida and Duke?
Out of Florida and Duke, I do want Florida to win, hometown team. But I am kind of also rooting for Duke because this is their first time making it to the Final Four in 47 years without Coach K. So it's like a monumental moment for them, and it'll be their first time winning, I think, March Madness without him. So
I might have Houston over Duke. Sue me.
Consider yourself sued, because what?
Not preying on their downfall or anything. I think they're both like good teams.
Mm-hmm.
I just prefer Houston over them.
Okay.
Florida, I do want Florida to be Auburn. They have to go. But if it came down to Florida and Houston, I want Florida to come out of them. But don't listen to me. My bracket's broken. So
I am hoping for Florida to get through and win. It seems like everybody in the sports world is kind of predicting them to be the overall winner of everything. But they've had a pretty good season. They've got some pretty good players. They've got Elijah Martin.
He used to play for FAU during our glory days when we were in the Final Four.
Reminiscing.
And did he transfer 2 years ago? Last year.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty good for himself.
Yeah, I
guess. Allegedly.
You doing all right?
But as far as Final Four, women's Final Four, that's what I've been paying attention to. I've been paying a lot of attention to the women's bracket. UConn plays UCLA, and then Texas plays South Carolina tomorrow, actually.
I've really been interested in watching, I've really started watching some women's games now, but I've really been looking at, the team dynamic for South Carolina these last couple of games.
I love South Carolina. Go Gamecocks.
Yeah.
Go Gamecocks. That's their...
Personally, as an SEC, I'm really big into SEC sports. Those words will never come out of my mouth.
I think they're such a great team. I think they work very well on the court. And I think something that caused LSU's downfall, because I was rooting for LSU. Flage and all them, I was rooting for them. I think something that caused their downfall in the Elite Eight was, I don't know her name, no shade to homegirl, but she just wanted to be the superstar. She was taking all these shots.
I know who you're talking about.
All these shots, mid-range shots, mind you. They weren't outlandish.
I also feel like it's come down to, LSU has kind of a lack of team. I don't know how you want to put it, but it's almost as if it's one man, one band instead of one band, one sound. You have too many players, and this doesn't just apply to LSU, but this applies to a lot of major teams that played in March Madness. It's a lot of players trying to have their big play moment, have their big moment on the court, trying to be seen more, get the exposure, and they're taking away from the sight that this is a team sport, this is a team game, and everybody has to blend and everybody has to play as one almost. So I feel like that's really becoming the downfall of college basketball.
I don't know about in other games for LSU, but I know in that last Elite Eight game, they were down by maybe 6. The game was winnable for them. And then someone, I believe she plays point guard, she was just taking outrageous mid-range shots, but none of them were hitting. Well, actually, I won't even say outrageous, because they were pretty good shots. They just weren't hitting. But at a certain point, baby, you got to pass that ball and stop shooting, because you're not making it. And now we're just wasting everybody's time. And then they lost by 7.
Nobody likes the ball hog.
Nobody likes the ball hog, but, it's March Madness. Everybody wants their moment. Everybody everybody's trying to get to the league and they want to be noticed.
And I feel like the other thing that's really playing into this whole getting noticed thing is, like, I hate to say it, but NIL. It's really, as good as it is for the athletes, prospective athletes, it's also very detrimental to them and their careers. A lot of players are focusing strictly on how much money they can get. I'm not the biggest fan of NIL.
So do you think NIL makes players work harder to get noticed, or do you think they feel like, oh, well, I'm making this money from this, like, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing?
I feel like it's a certain kind of, it's a different, it depends. It really depends on the player. It depends on where the player started at, too. So if you got a player who started at a JUCO or maybe like a D3 college, they have a different drive than somebody who started out at a D1 school, a major D1 school. So you've got players who, like, and this applies like to all sports, but you have players who are starting out at these smaller D1 schools. You've got players who are starting out at schools like FAU, these smaller D1 schools, but they're playing and are realizing like their potential isn't being seen. And by potential, I mean their monetary gain isn't being seen. They're not getting what they quote unquote deserve financially. So they're being picked up by these bigger schools that are also offering them hundreds of dollars, $100,000 at a time, and they're not necessarily, you're starting out you're a big fish in a little pond, but you're getting the exposure, you're getting the potential to be seen by these major league teams, versus now you transfer somewhere else, and now you're a big fish in a big pond. You're talented, but so is everybody else you play with. So are all the other players who are coming through there. So, like, that's my big thing. Like, I'm starting to see, like, a trend in these schools aren't going to start recruiting out of high school anymore. They're going to start recruiting from schools like the size of Florida Atlantic. They're going to start recruiting from these smaller D1 schools. They're going to recruit players who already have exposure, and that's going to take the love for the game out of it. It's all financial, and it's also going to take out the drive.
And now, that's one of the reasons that I like watching college basketball versus, like, the NBA, or I still like to watch the WNBA, but as far as men's basketball, I like watching that more because of the drive that it brings in, because these kids haven't made it into the league, and it's not just like I'm going to play this game, and I'm going to still get paid at the end of the day, so I'm going to play however I want to, because at the end of the day, I'm still bringing home millions of dollars. But like I said, with March Madness especially, or I feel like every team has like those few players or that one player that is just going to, we're down by 6. I'm about to throw this ball every which way I can and try to make something happen, and then nothing happens, and sometimes something does happen. Good job to them.
You don't get a cookie for that though. Like,
but also, like, that's how you end up blowing games, and now you are not the superhero player on the court. Now you're just the idiot that was taking bad shots.
Now it's just like, why did you throw that ball? You knew better.
Yes.
Now you gotta explain to coach. You gotta justify why you did that. And I know you're finna be running laps in the morning. So
actually, bench him right now. And that's how I felt during the LSU game, because that was who I was rooting for. LSU and South Carolina. Those were my teams.
I feel like a lot of people are starting to think like they're bigger than the program.
You're not bigger than the
You're
program.
not bigger than the program at all.
Nobody's bigger than the program.
What's that thing? They're coming to see the Temptation. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. And that is exactly how I feel anytime I, like, watch a basketball game that has those few players who think they're Otis. You're not Otis.
You're not Otis.
And even if you were Otis, nobody's coming to see you.
Thank you to Jackson 5. You the Jackson 5, and you thank you, Michael. Maybe sit down somewhere. You're Tito.
Tito. Yes, that's exactly how I feel. Do you have any predictions for the championship game for the women's?
For the women's?
Yes. Yeah,
I hate to say it.
Go Gamecocks.
Go Gamecocks. I'm going to give it to South Carolina. I'm really rooting for y'all. Oh, and also to mention, I was really heartbroken about Juju.
Oh, yes, Juju Watkins?
Yes.
She tore her ACL, and USC lost against UConn, I think 78-64 in the Elite Eight. So now they're out. Juju's out. USC out. Sorry, y'all.
I quite literally, I was like loving the fact that they were just like really up there in spirit though, supporting her.
Mm-hmm.
They had their Juju walking shirts on.
The
they
Nike.
had
Yes,
they had the
those were
little
hard.
they had the little bobblehead on the sideline. The Funko Pop on the sideline with her. So I was like, oh, that's
great team.
That's great team chemistry right there. So
because Juju being out like on such an injury like that, it was really, really detrimental to them. Like they did not need that to happen at all. And they did a good job in their game against UConn. Like, they didn't get blown out too crazy. You know, it wasn't like
it was a good game. It was a good watch.
Considering what had just happened. It was super unexpected. It threw everybody off. And I think they still were able to keep good team unity and still play the game the best they could. Shout out USC.
Yeah. Go Trojans?
Go Trojans.
Yeah. I was trying to remember if that was a mascot or not.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not good with mascots.
We know War Eagles. Because who was that?
That's what they say.
I
feel like y'all are gonna fact check me now. I swear that's what they say.
I did, babe. It's
War Eagles, is it not? No? Who says War Eagles?
They're the Tigers.
It's not that that's their mascot, but I swear that's what they say.
Why would they be the War Eagles?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. That's like hottie toddy. What is a hottie toddy? Old Miss says hottie toddy all the time. I don't know what a hottie toddy is. It's like some of these schools say some stuff, and I'm like, what does that even mean? What is a roll owl?
Roll owls.
I understand roll tide. Roll owls. Owls don't roll.
But they could.
Can they?
I guess.
Are you an owl? Who?
I was fighting a real mean who just now.
I know you were. Anyways, moving forward, it is the month of April, so that means it's draft season. So we are approaching the NFL draft, and we just had a lot of pro days. And
FAU had their pro day.
Yes.
2 weeks ago, FIU had their pro day. Also 2 weeks ago.
Everybody's pro day were around the same time. Like, it was like back to back. It was like a week worth of pro days.
Mm-hmm.
But
Shout out to everyone.
Right, congratulations. I hope you all did well. I hope you guys got to show your talent. Proud of y'all. And I'm looking forward to watching. I really get into watching the draft, and I'm really looking forward to watching the draft and seeing where everybody goes. And honestly, I'm just excited to see where some of these like key players from this season go, from this past football season go, because it's like a new wave of athleticism coming. So,
do you have any specific people that you are watching out for? I'm not super locked into the draft just yet, but.
So I am kind of watching for a lot of your quarterbacks, a lot of your key players. I am watching for Cam Jackson from the University of Florida. I just want to see what like draft pick number he is, as well as Travis Hunter.
Shout out Travis. Shout out his fiance too.
Shut up.
I'm just showing love.
Why are we? Sure.
He needs it.
Bye. That's why I said that.
He needs it.
That's why I said that.
Are they still living together? Let me not be messy. Sorry, y'all. That has nothing to do with
It's too late now. It's too late now. We might as well talk about it.
Are they still together?
I believe so. I believe
Why?
they are. They went to his little brother's 7-on-7 game together. Yeah.
You know, when that whole thing happened, like, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are just so eager to bash somebody. Like, show her some grace. But then, like, I couldn't defend
Honestly, though, it was to a point where it's like, you know what? Certain things happen. It's not my relationship. I can't say anything about it. But at the same time, every time she opened her mouth, girl, shh. You're
okay.
making it worse.
It's okay, babe. You don't have to say anything.
You don't have to justify anything. Because why did you get on the internet and tell people you did not like that man at first? You would
like,
never pry that out of me.
Just hush. It's
like,
okay. It's okay.
Girl, shut up.
What do you mean you didn't like this man?
Media training. That's all we need. That's all we need is some media training.
Yes.
But
being ugly doesn't help. That was messy. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
You ain't live, but like I didn't expect you to say that. No, like that's why she said she didn't like him at first.
Because that man is not.
He's
not easy on the eyes.
He ain't the cutest duckling in a pond. Like I ain't gonna hold you. Bye.
Sorry, Travis. We don't mean to do you.
We don't mean it like that. But it is kind of. I am kind of hoping for the best for him as well as Shadur.
Shadur is well off.
Oh, he's beyond great. He's okay. I'm just hoping for the best for him. I'm hoping for the best for a lot of other players.
Who is the other? He played for Bowie State. He was up for the Heisman as well.
Oh, Ashton Jean T. I'm probably butchering your last name, but Ashton, I am rooting for you.
Yeah, shout out Ashton.
Rooting for Cam Ward.
Who's that?
Hurricanes. QB.
Oh, yeah.